In the year 1900, Greek sponge divers were making their way home from the coast of Africa when a violent storm forced them to take shelter near a small, rocky island called Antikythera. Little did they know that this detour would lead to one of the most mind-bending archaeological discoveries in human history. Captain Demetrius Kondas decided to use the delay productively. He sent his divers down to search the seabed for sponges. What they found instead was a shipwreck, but not just any shipwreck. This was a Roman vessel from around 50 BCE, packed with treasures beyond imagination. Bronze statues, marble sculptures, luxury goods. And hidden among them, corroded beyond recognition, was a device that would challenge everything we thought we knew about ancient technology. The divers called it the clockwork. Local archaeologists labeled it as some kind of astronomical device. But for the next 70 years, this mysterious object would sit in the National Archaeological Museum in Athens, largely ignored, slowly revealing its secrets to those patient enough to look closer. What they had discovered was nothing short of an ancient computer, a mechanical marvel so sophisticated that when experts finally understood what they were looking at, they realized that nothing comparable would be invented again for another 1500 years. Tonight, we journey into the depths of this mystery. We'll explore how this incredible device worked, who might have built it, and what it reveals about the lost technological knowledge of the ancient world. So settle back, relax, and let us uncover the secrets of the Antikythera Mechanism, the world's first computer. The storm-tossed waters around Antikythera had been claiming ships for centuries. This particular stretch of the Mediterranean, between mainland Greece and Crete, was notorious among ancient mariners. Rocky outcrops jutted from the sea like the teeth of some primordial monster, and unpredictable currents could dash even the most experienced captain's plans against the stones. The Roman ship that met its fate here around 50 BCE was no ordinary vessel. Archaeological evidence suggests it was carrying luxury goods from the eastern Mediterranean, perhaps from Rhodes, to wealthy Roman collectors. The cargo was extraordinary. Bronze statues that would have graced the gardens of Roman villas, marble sculptures carved by master Greek artisans, jewelry, coins, and amphorae filled with the finest wines and oils. Among the divers working the wreck was Elias Stadiatis. When he surfaced that day in 1900, gasping and wide-eyed, he spoke of seeing dead men on the ocean floor, bodies perfectly preserved, reaching toward the surface as if pleading for rescue. Captain Kondas thought his diver had suffered nitrogen narcosis, a condition well known to deep-sea workers. But when Kondas descended himself to investigate, he discovered that what Stadiatis had seen were indeed human forms. But they were bronze statues, their arms outstretched, their faces bearing expressions of eternal longing. The recovery operation that followed was dangerous and painstaking. Working at depths of nearly 200 feet with primitive diving equipment, the sponge divers risked their lives to bring up treasure after treasure. The Greek government became involved, and what emerged from those depths would fill entire museum halls. But buried among the more obvious treasures was something that looked like nothing more than a corroded lump of bronze and wood. It was roughly the size of a large book, encrusted with marine growth and split into several fragments. To the archaeologists of the time, it seemed unremarkable, perhaps part of a statue base or some decorative element. It was catalogued simply as bronze object and stored away. It would take the sharp eyes of archaeologist Valerio Staes, examining the artifacts more closely, to notice something extraordinary. Embedded in the corrosion were the unmistakable outlines of gear wheels. Not just one or two, but many, arranged in complex patterns. This was clearly some kind of mechanical device, but what purpose could such sophisticated gearing serve in the ancient world? The initial reaction from the archaeological community was skepticism, even dismissal. The prevailing view of ancient technology was that the Greeks and Romans, while accomplished in architecture and art, lacked the precision engineering skills to create complex mechanical devices. Gears were thought to be a much later invention, perhaps from medieval times. Yet here was undeniable evidence of advanced mechanical engineering, preserved in bronze and sealed by the sea for over 2,000 years. The first serious scientific investigation came from British science historian Derek de Solla Price in the 1950s. Price was intrigued by this anomaly, this device that didn't fit into our understanding of ancient technological capabilities. He spent years studying the fragments, mapping each gear and attempting to understand how they might have worked together. Price's initial findings were revolutionary. He determined that the device contained at least 30 precision-cut bronze gears, arranged in a complex system of meshing wheels and rotating dials. The gear teeth were incredibly fine, showing a level of craftsmanship that wouldn't be seen again in Europe until the Renaissance. But understanding the purpose of these gears required deeper investigation. Price noted that many of the gear ratios seemed to correspond to astronomical cycles, the movements of the sun, moon, and planets as understood by ancient Greek astronomers. This was the first hint that the Antikythera mechanism might be some kind of astronomical calculator, a device designed to predict celestial events with mechanical precision. As Price continued his research through the 1960s and early 1970s, the picture became clearer, but also more astounding. The device appeared to be capable of calculating the positions of the sun, moon, and planets. It could predict eclipses, track the complex orbital patterns of celestial bodies, and even account for the elliptical nature of the moon's orbit, a level of astronomical understanding that wasn't thought to exist in the ancient world. Price's work culminated in his 1974 paper titled Gears from the Greeks. In it, he made the bold claim that the Antikythera mechanism was essentially an ancient computer, a mechanical device designed to perform complex calculations related to astronomy and timekeeping. The academic world was divided. Some hailed Price's work as groundbreaking, a revelation that forced us to reconsider ancient technological capabilities. Others remained skeptical, arguing that the evidence was incomplete and the interpretations too speculative. The skeptics had a point. The mechanism was severely corroded, with many parts missing or damaged beyond recognition. Much of what Price proposed was based on educated guesswork, filling in gaps where the physical evidence was unclear. What the mystery needed was new technology. Tools that could see inside the corroded bronze without damaging the precious artifact further. That breakthrough came in the form of advanced imaging technology. In 2005, an international team led by researchers from Cardiff University and the National Technical University of Athens began using high-resolution X-ray computed tomography to peer inside the mechanism's remains. What they found exceeded everyone's wildest expectations. The CT scans revealed layer upon layer of intricate gearing, far more complex than Price had imagined. The device contained not 30 gears, but at least 37, possibly more. The scans showed that the mechanism had multiple dials and displays, each serving different astronomical functions. Most remarkably, the imaging revealed extensive inscriptions. An instruction manual of sorts, written in ancient Greek, explaining how to use the device and what its various displays showed. These inscriptions transformed our understanding of the mechanism from an impressive but mysterious artifact into a readable piece of ancient technology. The Greek text described eclipse predictions, planetary positions, and even the dates of Olympic Games and other important festivals. Dr. Tony Freeth, one of the lead researchers, described the moment of discovery as like finding the Rosetta Stone of ancient technology. Suddenly, they weren't just looking at gears and dials. They were reading the thoughts of ancient engineers, understanding their methods and appreciating their sophistication. The inscriptions revealed that the mechanism could predict eclipses up to 19 years in advance, following what's known as the Saros cycle. An astronomical pattern that takes 223 lunar months to complete. The ancient Greeks had clearly understood this complex celestial rhythm and built it into their mechanical calculator. The device could also track the 4-year cycle of Olympic Games, the various local festival calendars used throughout the Greek world, and the complex motions of the 5 planets known to ancient astronomers: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Perhaps most impressively, the mechanism accounted for the irregular motion of the moon. Ancient astronomers knew that the moon doesn't orbit Earth in a perfect circle, but follows an elliptical path that causes it to appear to speed up and slow down. The Antikythera mechanism incorporated this knowledge using an ingenious arrangement of gears called an epicyclic system, allowing it to accurately predict the Moon's position despite its varying orbital velocity. This level of astronomical understanding and mechanical implementation was simply breathtaking. It suggested that ancient Greek science and technology had reached heights that wouldn't be achieved again until the work of medieval Islamic astronomers and later European clockmakers. The question that naturally arose was, who built this extraordinary device? The answer isn't simple, but the evidence points to a tradition of mechanical engineering that was far more advanced than previously imagined. The device shows clear connections to the astronomical theories of Hipparchus, the great Greek astronomer of the 2nd century BCE, whose work on lunar motion and eclipse prediction cycles matched the mechanical functions of the Antikythera mechanism. The island of Rhodes emerges as a likely center for this type of advanced engineering. Rhodes was home to a thriving school of astronomy and mathematics in the Hellenistic period. It was also famous for its mechanical marvels, including the Colossus of Rhodes, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Ancient sources describe other mechanical devices from this period. Automated theaters, water clocks, and even steam-powered toys created by inventors like Hero of Alexandria. The Antikythera mechanism fits into this tradition of Greek mechanical ingenuity, representing perhaps its highest achievement. The craftsmanship of the device itself tells us much about its creators. The gear teeth were cut with extraordinary precision, using techniques that modern engineers struggle to replicate even with contemporary tools. The bronze work required skills in metallurgy, precision cutting, and mechanical assembly that speak to a highly developed technological tradition. This wasn't the work of a single genius, but rather the product of a school or workshop where knowledge of advanced mechanical engineering was passed down through generations of craftsmen and scholars. The implications of the Antikythera mechanism extend far beyond the device itself. It forces us to reconsider our assumptions about ancient technological capabilities and the transmission of knowledge through history. For centuries, our understanding of technological development followed a simple narrative: primitive ancient tools gradually evolving into more sophisticated medieval and modern devices. The Antikythera mechanism shatters this linear progression, revealing that ancient engineers achieved levels of sophistication that were then lost for over a millennium. This raises profound questions about the fragility of technological knowledge. How many other ancient innovations were lost to time? What other mechanical marvels lie buried in shipwrecks or destroyed archaeological sites? The device also highlights the interconnected nature of ancient science. The mechanism combines mathematical understanding, astronomical observation, mechanical engineering, and precision metalwork, disciplines that we often think of as separate fields of study. Its creators needed to master all of these areas to produce such a sophisticated instrument. Modern attempts to reconstruct the Antikythera mechanism have proven challenging even with contemporary tools and techniques. The precision required to cut such fine gear teeth, the complexity of assembling multiple gear trains in a compact bronze case, and the mathematical understanding needed to translate astronomical cycles into mechanical ratios, all of these represent significant technological achievements. Several full-scale reconstructions have been attempted, most notably by clockmaker John Gleave and later by researcher Michael Wright. Each reconstruction has revealed new aspects of the device's sophistication and has increased appreciation for the skills of its ancient creators. The mechanism's influence on later technological development remains a subject of debate. Did knowledge of such advanced mechanical engineering survive in some form through the centuries? Some scholars see connections between the Antikythera mechanism and later Islamic astronomical instruments, suggesting that the tradition of precision mechanical engineering may have continued in the East even as it was lost in Europe. Others point to the medieval development of mechanical clocks in Europe, wondering whether some memory of ancient gear-cutting techniques might have influenced these later innovations. What's certain is that the Antikythera mechanism represents a peak of ancient technological achievement that was not matched again until the Renaissance. Its existence proves that the ancient world was capable of innovations that we're only now beginning to fully appreciate. The ongoing research into the mechanism continues to yield new insights. Advanced imaging techniques are revealing additional details about its construction and function. Computer modeling is helping researchers understand how all the various gear trains work together to create accurate astronomical predictions. Most importantly, the study of the Antikythera mechanism is changing how we think about ancient science and technology. It's encouraging archaeologists to look more carefully at corroded metal artifacts that might previously have been dismissed as unimportant. It's inspiring engineers to study ancient techniques and consider how traditional craftsmanship might inform modern manufacturing. The device serves as a humbling reminder that innovation and sophisticated thinking are not the exclusive province of modern times. The ancient Greeks who created this mechanism possessed mathematical understanding, mechanical skill, and scientific curiosity that rivals our own. In our age of digital computers and electronic devices, it's easy to assume that mechanical calculation is primitive and outdated. The Antikythera mechanism challenges this assumption, demonstrating that mechanical engineering can achieve remarkable precision and complexity. In many ways, the reliability and durability of bronze gears surpasses that of electronic circuits. After all, this ancient computer survived 2,000 years underwater and still reveals its secrets to modern researchers. The mystery of the Antikythera mechanism also reminds us how much of ancient knowledge has been lost to time. This device survived only because it happened to be aboard a ship that sank in relatively shallow water, in conditions that preserved bronze and organic materials. How many similar devices were lost to rust, recycling, or simple neglect? Ancient sources hint at other mechanical marvels: automatic doors in temples, mechanical theaters that performed entire plays, water-powered organs, and clockwork astronomical displays. Most of these exist now only as descriptions in ancient texts, their physical reality lost to history. The Antikythera mechanism stands as perhaps our most tangible connection to this lost world of ancient engineering. It's a working example of the sophistication that ancient craftsmen could achieve when theoretical knowledge was combined with practical skill and unlimited patience. As research continues, new questions arise about this remarkable device. How many were made? Was this a unique creation, or did similar mechanisms exist throughout the ancient world? What other functions might it have served beyond astronomical calculation? Some researchers speculate that the mechanism might have been used for astrological purposes, helping ancient practitioners cast horoscopes or predict auspicious dates for important events. Others suggest it might have been a teaching device, used in schools or academies to demonstrate astronomical principles to students. The craftsmanship suggests that it was expensive to produce, likely commissioned by a wealthy patron or institution. Perhaps it adorned the library of Alexandria, or served as a treasured possession of some Hellenistic king's court. Whatever its original purpose and context, the Antikythera mechanism has secured its place as one of archaeology's most significant discoveries. It bridges the gap between ancient and modern, showing us that the human drive to understand and predict the cosmos has remained constant throughout history. As we drift toward sleep tonight, we can marvel at the ingenuity of those ancient craftsmen, working by lamplight in their bronze workshops, carefully cutting gear teeth and calibrating mechanical displays to match the stately dance of the planets overhead. Their creation survived storm and shipwreck, corrosion and neglect, to emerge in our time as a testament to human curiosity and skill. The Antikythera mechanism reminds us that every age has its geniuses, its innovators, its dreamers who push the boundaries of what's possible. In the gentle rhythm of its bronze gears, we can hear the echo of ancient minds at work, solving problems, creating beauty, reaching across the centuries to show us that the wonder of discovery is truly timeless. The waves that once carried this remarkable device now carry our dreams, as we rest in the knowledge that human ingenuity, like the stars themselves, continues its eternal dance across the vast expanse of time.